So here's this week's sneaker releases, and as ever the dates can change and move around, and the first one up, which I believe is a worldwide release, is the Air Max 1000. This is in collaboration with Jelyfish, who essentially make the 3D printed sneakers and use I guess with various different collaborators and known brands to create foam based sneakers. This one, I think, is, to be honest, I feel is a bit overhyped. They are quite nice. About £180 or like $200 or whatever it is quite steep in terms of money. And also the foam sneakers in general, I think they're a bit weird to put on your feet and that kind of stuff, and that's my main reason really. I think I can't see these being better, 3 times better than say a Yeezy foam runner, for instance, or a ReactX Rejuven8. But not to sort of say they don't look nice, they do look very nice. And then also women's exclusive, which is the theme of this week, is the Air Jordan 5 Wings. Looks quite nice in terms of the embroidery hits on it and the number 10 on the side. Overall, I think the shoe, metallic silver, seems to be the in colour, especially for women. I see a lot of women wearing this colourway, in particular, on various different sneakers, especially Adidas sneakers. So I feel like these will be semi-popular, but also quite limited, I reckon. And then also from Nike, we've got the ReactX Rejuve8 in medium olive, another one that's been released probably on the sort of latter end of the summer period. I have been wearing my lightwood or wood brown pair and found that they don't quite suit me personally, because they're just a bit too soft. They're probably fine for after recovery, but general sort of wear I just find, again, just problems with my tendons and my calves, and just prefer a more, I suppose, a stable piece of footwear on foot. And then also something which is really on my radar is the New Balance 2010. I do like the sort of black and white colorway, not so much the triple black one. I just feel like I've got quite a few triple black sneakers, so I don't really need that pair. But I would like the black and white pair, definitely. I think it's one of the strongest colorways to release so far, including I think it was called the Dusty Rose color as well. And also from Jordan brand, we have the Jordan 40 Blue Suede. Another cool looking sneaker, kind of got that UNC moniker to it. And overall, yeah, a good looking sneaker, but just again, I'm not sure this is something for me, in all honesty. And then also from basically Kobe and in collaboration with FC Barcelona, Nike Air Force 1 Low in Persian Violet. It's a nice sneaker. I've got the pale yellow colorway, and this one being similar sort of thing really. As far as I know, this one's a Pro Pro as well, so in the sense that it's got a different insole inside, and this should be a ReactX basically foam midsole with the air unit on the heel. And so yeah, I expect these to sort of sell out still, and be limited numbers, such as the soft yellow pair. And then also another women's colorway is the Air Max 95 OG Blue Tint. Like all the other Air Max 95s this year, these probably will sell out and maybe garner some sort of resale price. Some of them are sort of selling around about retail, some of them are above retail, just depends on which colorway you get. But yeah, overall still a nice sneaker. It's missing the PSI on the outsole, and that's kind of what I liked about the Mandarin pair, and in all honesty, I think the only pair of Air Max 95s that I want to pick up is the Neon pair, but I'll kind of wait for that for next year. And then also from Jordan brand, another women's colorway is the Jordan 4 Tex Denim. A nice pair in my opinion. I don't think it's too bad. Again, not something that I would be after. And just trying to hold out for the Jordan 4 Undefeated, see if there's sneakers release in the UK and EU. But yeah, still a nice pair. If you're a fan of sort of denim material, then I think these ones are worth a go. But maybe it depends on how many numbers have been released on these. These also might be limited. And then also we have the Air Max DN. This is basically the DN8, and also it's got kind of multicolour on there. I think it's one of the nicer looking models in my opinion. I think it suits it kind of well. Still don't like the bubbles, at the bottom of the outsole. It just looks a bit strange. So yeah, it's a nice model, but not amazing. And then also from Nike, we have the Dunk Low Rivalry pack. This is, I think, the Yankees and socks, I think. And yeah, overall a cool pair, but these have been sort of released a few years back. It seems to be Nike seem to be pumping out Dunk Lows more again, so I'm not sure what that is due to. Maybe because it's coming out June, sort of autumn winter time, and people are looking for more sort of leather based footwear. I'm not sure, or whether there's a slight uptick in terms of Dunk sales. And then also from Nike, we have the Jar 3 Max Volume. I think a lot of people have adopted the Jar 3 model, and it seems to be a relatively hyped, I guess, basketball sneaker, you know, for playing basketball, and especially amongst the younger crowd. And having sort of a ZoomX midsole in there as well probably helps to that as well. And the price is pretty reasonable as well. So yeah, overall it's a nice sneaker, but again, it's more for the basketball court or for the younger crowd. And then also we have the Total 93. This got asymmetrical lacing on this, pretty much a football shoe from the early 2000s, worn by I think David Beckham and Roberto Carlos as far as I remember. But yeah, all three colorways look pretty cool, just not something for me in all honesty, but like I said, part of that soccer trend, which I think is popular at the moment. And then also from New Balance we have the 1000, and this is by Salehe Bembury, Fog Be the Cloud. I'm just not that enthused with this particular sneaker, and to be honest, I think this is one of the weakest Salehe Bembury sneakers that we've got. I do love the 1000 model, and I think the Jelyfish Goods collab has been the best one. But you can pick up a GR colorway of this for very, very cheap, you know, and there's quite a lot of different colorways out there as well. And I would definitely sort of say try and pick up a pair for half price if you can, because that way you get a feel of the sneaker, and if you don't like it, you can always kind of sell it on. And then also from Nike we have the Kobe 3 Halo. This one has been, I guess, protroed in the sense of it has a full air zoom strobo unit in there, and I think there's some other sort of details that have been updated to make it, you know, more for today's audience. But it's got that very sort of shoe-like feel to it. Personally, I'm not a fan of them, but I know like the die-hard Kobe fans will be, and for that reason I do expect it to be limited. And then also from the fashion brand in Korea, I believe it's Shushu Tong, Asics Gel-kinetic Fluent. So Asics have been pushing the Fluent model quite a bit. I just feel like they kind of missed they missed the bar in certain instances where they can't keep releasing the same sort of running type shoes. I think New Balance have done well to sort of vary up their sort of sneakers and have sort of different types of models, not just runners, with per se looking the same sort of thing. And these look the same as all other sort of Asics sneakers in my opinion. And then also on the 23rd of August is the Jordan 1 High OG Shattered Backboard, so I'm sure people will be looking forward to this, especially in the US, which is what this is, a US release. But I feel like they'll probably sit around, and because they're going under retail anyway in the UK and EU, and I picked my pair up on sale, so yeah, I expect a similar fate for these in all honesty. And then also we have the Jordan Trunner LX Rare Air. This I feel like is a bit of a weird looking sneaker. I don't mind strange looking sneakers, but for this one I'm just not that interested in, to be honest. I think depends on the angles that you see, but yeah, I'd probably like to sort of see to check out, but other than that I don't think it's a pair that I'm kind of really wanting to have. And lastly we have the Adidas Jellyfish by Pharrell Williams. I think this is called the Virginia colorway. Overall it's a nice sneaker. I don't think the underfoot comfort is going to be anything special. It's got Adiprene or Adiprene Plus in there, which is an okay cushioning system, but it's not anything amazing, but it still keeps sort of stable and supportive on foot, but just nothing that amazing. And I'm just not a fan of the big chunky look in terms of sneakers. I think as chunky as I get is probably like the New Balance 992. But yeah, overall if you're sort of a fan of this type of model, then definitely worth checking out. I do like the way it looks. It's just not a fan of chunky sneakers, and also the price is a bit off-putting at sort of £250, $300.